Hey everybody, and thanks for watching Woodcrest Bonsai. Today I'm going to give you the 6-month update on this bald cypress grove bonsai, future grove. And so what I did with this thing was I planted a whole bunch of bald cypress seed in January, and I took a video of that where I showed the empty pot, and I filled it with soil, and I planted the seed, and I planted about 200 seed. And I got almost nothing. In fact, I got about 10 or 12 total out of those 200 that germinated, and they all were within about 1.5 to 2 inches of the perimeter. So I got nothing in the middle at all. But I had other seed, so I did it again. This time I didn't do it as densely, and when I collected the seed back in the winter, I did collect from 2 different trees, so I have the feeling that one tree had seed that was much more viable. But here we go, this is 6 months now, and those second batch of seed germinated beautifully, and as you can see. And you can tell some of the ones that were perimeter plants. So this guy here is much thicker than its neighbors. And if we take a pencil, that baby's already as thick around as a pencil, and that's only 6 months. They're also, the tallest ones are over 3 feet high. And if we look, they've all grown now as just one giant mass. And that's not bad, because actually grove plantings grow like that. Many times if you watch other videos, I don't have any because my channel's too young, but they'll take grove plantings, and when they root prune them, they just sort of take slices, like slicing a pizza, out of the perimeter. So they chop like this and then chop like that and take that section of roots out, because that's really all they can do. You don't, once you've got your grove set, you don't really want to rip the whole thing apart and then individually plant every tree back. This is way too full. Here's another perimeter one right there, which is also about the thickness of a pencil. There's a couple more over there, and I'll go to the other side too. And we've got some on the, this is another perimeter tree that's already beginning to branch out. So I was very disappointed with the germination of the first batch, but now I'm really super happy. And I had squirrels help me with creating space. If we look in here, you see that space right there where there's absolutely nothing? The squirrels did that when the trees were only a couple inches high. Squirrels love fresh soil. They come in and say, ooh, I wonder what's in there. And then they start digging it up. And there's another one on the other side. So I guess I can go to the other side and continue the video from there. I also want to apologize for the angle, because I really can't get in front because it's not at the end of the bench. I plan on moving it to the end of the bench, but it's so heavy that I've basically got to drag it. So I've been dragging it from the deep shade that I started the seeds in to keep the moisture in the soil. And now it's about halfway out to the end of the bench. And I haven't really worried about it lately. So here's another perimeter tree that is even thicker than a pencil. And that is like the worst case scenario as far as design. Typically you want your design, most groves have one main tree, and it's planted as if it was just a single tree in the pot, so 1/3 of the way from one side and 2/3 of the way from the other side. And then the other trees are all subordinate to it. And there's usually 3 to 5. You normally want to use odd numbers. There's 3 to 5 subordinate trees that are all very similar in size that surround the main tree. And then there's another group of even smaller trees, and then depending on your pot and depending on your design and depending on your species, there might be one or two more outer layers of even smaller trees. That's what gives you the image of a grove in nature, especially bald cypress. All you have to do is do a search for bald cypress domes, and even in nature, that's exactly how they grow. Taller trees in the middle, and then they just slowly get smaller and smaller and smaller out to the edge. So this is going to, oh, where's the other hole that the squirrels did? It's right in here. Yeah, they helped me out a bunch by taking that out. And actually, I was not very happy about it. It's like, I want to choose. However, there is going to be a certain culling process that does occur. I want this thing to maybe have 20 trees, maybe, and right now there's probably at least 100. And it's hard to count, you count, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 right there. There's 10 right there. So then 20, 30, 40, probably at least 100. And another interesting thing is this big guy, who is probably one of the very thickest. Some of these tallest ones are tall because they're competing with their neighbors, but this very thickest one is also beginning to move out because it's being pushed out by the trees that are on the inside. And that's not necessarily a bad thing either in your design, because many times groves also grow like that. So the outer trees have a bend to the outside because they're being competed against by the trees on the inside, and so they tend to move towards the light and bend a little more. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to use that, and these really large perimeter guys are all coming out because they're just too big and they're too close to the edge. That is going to be the next update on this tree, which will be in a year. It'll be in January. Cypress are a temperate tree, although they do grow through Florida in very warm, humid conditions, but they go completely dormant in the winter, and that's really the only time that you can safely root prune them. So when I am about to thin this guy out to create the grove, I will be cutting away the ones I don't want, but attempting to save them. So I'll take a trowel, and once again we see where it's like the roots, so I'll take a trowel and I will cut around the edge of this root ball, trim the tree way back, because the amount of roots it has determines how big the top is. So if you're chopping away at least probably 50% or more of the roots, then you need to cut a proportionate part of the top off too. And then I will be replanting them in probably their own individual pots to grow them out as individuals. So I'm pretty happy. I was really bummed when the first batch of seed only had 10 germinate, and every single one of them was around the perimeter. I think these two guys here, these two much thicker guys here, were some of that 10. And then you can see there's some that are much, much thinner. But that's a good thing. You want variation in trunk size and height. That's what gives it the naturalness that you're looking for. So that's it for this video. 6 months, only 6 months of growth. And they've done fantastic after I planted the second batch of healthier seed. So the next update on this tree will be in January when they're all completely bare, and I will start to remove individuals, and the ones I leave will create the grove. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a like. Liking and commenting really helps the algorithm send me to more people. And when you subscribe, if you hit the notification bell, in 6 months when I do the next update on this tree, you'll be able to see that I have put that video out. And if you're interested, you can watch that video too if you subscribe and hit the notification bell. So, and this is a mica pot, by the way. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.